What's up, guys? Welcome back. Obviously, we're home. Uh, well, really, I don't upload on this channel unless I'm at home, or not on the road at least, right? So, I made it pretty clear that my goal, my biggest priority, was to get home yesterday, Wednesday. Well, why? Well, there was a kind of a once in a lifetime thing going on yesterday, and I was asked to participate in that. I was asked to be a part of that, and I know I have a lot of veterans who are watching this channel. Well, at least the other one. So I would assume that a portion, some sort, some degree, some extent, are oops, sorry about that, are watching this channel as well, have carried over. So, for those of you that know, you know. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started onto what I gotta get doing. I couldn't video yesterday just because there was a little bit of wind, and Best Buy canceled my microphone order because they couldn't get it shipped. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get everything set up, and I'll show you guys what happened yesterday. All right. So, what you saw there was one of our prospects got promoted to staff sergeant. Still active duty, much like I was, and again, much like I was a prospect when he got promoted to staff sergeant. I, very shortly after receiving that promotion, was medically discharged and decided to stay put here in Idaho because I love it. And yeah, we'll see what his plan is. So, the plan was to watch the Streetwalker. Getting everything set up, I realized, and I completely forgot this as soon as I realized it, I ran out of soap, car soap, last time I was home. And I forgot to ask the wife to get some, and I forgot to pick up some. So, what we're going to do, which is something I've done a couple times in the past, is we're just going to pressure wash the old Streetwalker. And we'll call that good enough. You know, I've done it, it looks decent, you know, it's not scrub clean and shiny and sparkly, whatever. But tomorrow morning, I'm getting in this, and I'm going all the way to Arkansas to Indiana and back here. So it's not like it's gonna sit and be clean. I mean, by noon tomorrow, it'll be destroyed. So this gets the road gram off of it. I did go through some snowy area, so I can clean the undercarriage, make sure there's no salt or anything on it. So, without further ado, of course now, this thing that never fails. There we go. There we go. Okay. She's not perfect. She's not spotless, but she's clean. And more importantly, we got the chassis and undercarriage done because like I said, I went through that road salt, and while the body on that truck is aluminum, I would really rather not rust out the chassis. So I'll get that mess cleaned up, and then project number 2 for my 1 day off. Now I did have a little less than, by the time I got home and parked the Streetwalker, it was about noon yesterday. So I had a few hours to myself. But again, I had 2 errands I had to run, got those taken care of. Went over to the promotion, which, being able to pin a very dear friend and a brother in your MC to the rank that you got before you got out, and the rank that you got right before you became a full patch member, was a great honor and something I was not going to miss. Didn't care what it took. And I got home and hung out for a couple hours and went to bed. Got up this morning, had my coffee. Not something I get to do on the road. Once in a while, but usually not. I don't do coffee on the road. Anyway, got that this morning. Got up, got the Streetwalker washed. Have 2 more projects. One involving the Viper truck, and one for the Streetwalker. For that load I've been teasing you guys about on the other channel. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the next one, and I'll catch up with you guys in just a minute. All right, so as you guys heard on my video for my trip to Oregon, there was a very unpleasant noise coming out of the hood of this thing. I was pretty sure that I knew what it was. One of you commented, and absolutely correct. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but when it was on the motor, it was making very awful noises. I've taken it off, and it's not nearly as bad. My assumption there is that the bearing is no longer under as much pressure because it's in my hand, and that's what's making the noise quieter. However, you can still hear it, so we're gonna walk down to the auto parts store because it's right there. And we'll get this replaced, and we'll see if that makes that squealing go away. Because every single other pulley under there, not making a sound. Perfectly smooth, perfectly quiet, everything's good. This one was awful. So, I'm gonna go grab my wallet and go get this replaced. I'll get back with you guys as soon as I get back here to the yard. Okay, we're back. And for the ridiculous price of $17, I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it, but it's not making that grinding noise anymore. So, again, when it was on the truck, it was making an awful noise. I took it off, and it was very, very faint. However, got this one, compared it, and this one makes no noise in comparison to the other one. So, it's gonna go right back on that little snout right there. Bushing inside, bolt on the other. We'll put the belt back on, which is a very simple process, using that breaker bar that I still have on the tensioner down there. Get the belt rerouted, fire this thing up, and see if it still makes some awful noises. And just like that, pulley's changed, belt's on, everything's back together. My daughter came out to give me a hand, so you'll see her putting the tools away. Need the keys. And let's see if we fix that awful, awful noise that was coming out of the engine. Ignition on. And one of the coolest features of this truck, push to start. And that noise is still there. It kind of sounds like it's the power steering. The dealership told me they put a brand new power steering pump on it when they sold it. And the pulley is quiet. I don't know. Not a doubt in my mind that pulley, the idler that I replaced, was getting worn out. So it would have been a problem in the near future. It just wasn't the one that I was tackling today. It's definitely either the power steering or the air conditioning, because those are the only three that are on that side, and I already replaced the idler as you saw. I do not have the time today to do an air compressor pump or a power steering pump, so we did not fix the problem. Oh well. Not a daily driver. It's a fun little toy. I don't care. I don't care if the transmission blows up. I don't care if the engine grenades itself. This is a fun little toy, and I will fix it. So, that's that. Actually, kind of sounds worse now, which is awesome. I don't know. I definitely don't want to drive it like this. So, means we're on the Harley today, because we got a little bit of stuff we got to get taken care of for the Streetwalker for tomorrow, for that special load. I'll catch you guys here in a little bit. All right, so we're back. Got wrapped up trying to get things done, had a really tight timeline, and didn't really get to film much of anything. Went out, got everything the Streetwalker needed, and we're ready for that load in the morning. Went and had dinner, and then it was time for church with the club, and I rode out and escorted our VP in. He lives a few hours away. He just moved a few months ago, but went out, met him halfway, escorted him into the meeting, and just got back in the garage. So, once again, a completely jam-packed 34. I think I got 3 hours to myself. Came back, cleaned the Streetwalker, and worked on the Viper truck, and pinned the prospect to Staff Sergeant, and got everything needed for the Streetwalker for that load tomorrow, and did some yard work, cleaned up some weeds, trimmed down the grass, whatnot, and then we had church, and I just got home, and now I get to go to bed and get up in the morning and get back at it. So, as always, a completely packed 34, but had a blast. Always a good time. I don't mind running myself ragged if it's fun stuff. You know, I get caught up on my sleep on the road. Anyway, I'm going to end this one here. I'm exhausted. It's been a long day. And, yeah. I'll see you guys on the other channel tomorrow.